So what we have here is a rusty old Peugeot mountain bike, a very low-end mountain bike, nothing fancy at all. But I just was drawn to it, drawn to the fact that it's a Peugeot, which I've got a soft spot for. There was a Peugeot dealer in our local town. When I was a kid, I used to look at these bikes in the shop window. As you can see, it's had a bit of a hard life. Almost everything is seized and stuck. The shifters are all stuck. None of the bolts want to come undone. It's going to be a bit of a fight to even get this one apart. Not going to go crazy resto mod with this. Going to keep it 3x, and it's just kind of a, can we get this rusty old bike back up and rolling again? It's got Regida rims on it and a few other reasonable bits and pieces. A cool bottle cage with a bit of splatter paint. As I said, the seat post is probably going to be stuck. Everything else is a bit sort of seized up. Cool loop tail frame on the back there, which reminds me of the Mark 1 Rally Burners with the loop tail on the back. So yeah, with this one now, we're not going to go crazy with mods. I might do a few little touches here and there, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, see if we can get it back up and running. So I've got it in the stand, and as you can see, these shifters are all gunked up. I really wanted to save these shifters, and I gave it my best shot, just because they're like a cool design, the way the yellow sort of fan comes round as you change gear. Very, very stiff. Everything needed freeing up and re-greasing and bringing back to life. So as I say, I didn't want to go down the route of doing another 1x. I've done loads of 1x's lately, and I've done loads of single speed conversions and things. I didn't intend to go crazy with modifications on this bike. So I just started stripping it all. I thought I'd just put new cables in it, you know, release everything, free everything up, and just get a rusty old bike running and riding, and just show you how quickly it can be done. And how cheaply it can be done, because apart from the 4 new cables I use, everything else here is parts bin, bits and pieces. So very little cost involved. Pulled the bar and stem out. Did have to whack this a few times with a hammer to get it to come loose, but it was out and free, and it was time to think about what to do with this bike. Anyway, having said I wasn't going to resto mod it, I then had the idea of BMX handlebars. Yeah, I almost immediately didn't like the look of this. I gave it a try. I was trying to play off the sort of loop tail on the rear, which reminds me of a rally BMX frame, and run with that. But yeah, I didn't like how it looked. I tried these shorter BMX bars as well, which looks slightly better. But no, I still wasn't super keen on the look, to be honest. And it comes with the temptation to go 1x when you go down the full sort of BMX, you know, MT BMX kind of route. So I left it for a minute and decided to give the bike a bit of TLC while I thought about what I was going to do with it. So I used in the trusty finish line just to give the bike a good scrub up and see what is uncovered. Like I say, it's not a fancy bike. This is a really low-end basic bike, but it's just a cool old Peugeot, and I seem to have a bit of a soft spot. So yeah, gave it a rinse down and a bit of a soap up, and used the Hydro Shot to rinse it all off. And with them apparently and recording to rinse it all off. And yeah, it came up quite well. There's lots of scratches and bits on the frame, but as you know, it doesn't bother us around here. And then it turned out, under all the muck, that there was a sticker from the dealership that I used to look at these Peugeots in the window of. So yeah, that dealership shut down about 30 years ago. Anyway, I then found these bars, which I thought had a kind of sort of nod to BMX with the cross brace. Yeah, without going down the full BMX route. As you can see, the stem I wasn't a fan of, but yeah, the bars I thought could be could make something out of. So I hit them with the Autosol because they were looking a little bit tarnished. I didn't go absolutely crazy because for a bike like this, you know, it's just getting the cheap bike up and running. There's no need to go mad. But yeah, give it a bit of an auto sole polish, and I think it did come up quite a bit better. You can see in these shots here that a lot of the tarnishing was removed, and it came up looking quite clean. So yeah, then I found that this Mafia BMX stem and quill stem converter fitted really nicely. Obviously you need a removable faceplate stem for a BMX. Chuck that on there, and I quite like the look, to be honest. It's a nice wide bar. I like the look of the BMX stem. So I thought, despite the saying I wasn't going to rest or mod it, I decided to do that. So then I tried to save these shifters, and I really wanted to save these shifters because they're just cool old shifters, and I quite like the levers as well. They are actual Brifters, all in one, shifter and brake. But yeah, I tried everything to free them up, and it's almost like the springs just weren't strong enough anymore. I cleaned all the pawls, freed it up as much as I could, but yeah, the shifting was just intermittent, to say the least. You can see those pawls there, they were really gunked up, and I did get them moving, but yeah, I just couldn't get it to shift consistently. So then I thought about these, which are just little thumb shifters, index thumb shifters, but then found these STX Brifters, so again shifter and brake lever in one, and I really like these. I think they may have come off the orange C16, and then I found this really cool fact I didn't know about these. Is the little window there where you change the gear cable. It took me a while to figure out where the gear cable went in. I started taking screws out and then noticed that little hatch. Anyway, the end result, I didn't go crazy on this one at all, as you can see. Changed out the bars, gave it a good scrub up, got everything running and moving and riding. Mix of yellow and white cables, which were offcuts from other bikes, so the cable outers are all offcuts. A white saddle, and that's it really. It's just a very quick get an old bike back on the road. I don't know what it is with me and these old Peugeots. I just can't seem to let them die. But yeah, so not super duper modified, this one, more of a kind of a just rescue it and get it back up and running. But I was pretty pleased with how it turned out overall. I do think it looks quite cool with those bars and that BMX stem. There's other things you could do, but yeah, this was just about getting it back on the road again. Let me know what you think, as you always do, and thank you very much for watching.